Hey guys, we're back in the bathroom and we just had the vanity and the countertop installed. We went with an LK cabinet. It's made by Yorktown Cabinets. They're made in Ringgold, Virginia, United States. Real nice cabinet, dovetail construction drawers, self-closing mechanisms, very nice, good value, and we got it at a local place called FW Webb in Bedford, Massachusetts. FW Webb is all over the country and it's a great place to go for all of your bath supplies if you're doing a remodel. It's a good idea stop, good idea place. Gives you great materials and equipment and faucets and all kinds of things to look at. The installation of the cabinet went pretty straightforward. Obviously we have to locate the center lines of our pipes and transfer them, and we kept our cabinet 1 inch off of our door trim so that we could have an overhang of our countertop. And most importantly is we kept photographs of the wall when it was open so we could see the location of the pipes and wires. You don't want to inadvertently put a screw through your cabinet into a pipe. You're going to cause a major setback. In addition, I mark all of my studs all the way along throughout the construction process on the subfloor when they do the plaster. And then after the plaster is done, I mark the studs. I also mark pipes and wires on the plaster, hitting at the baseboard line when they do the floor. So I have my marks on the wall when I'm installing my cabinet, but I also have a photograph that I use for reference. It's very useful. The countertop, we used a silestone material for our countertop, and the installation process was excellent. The subcontractors were professional. We watched them install it. They basically make the countertop off-site, and they cut the sinkholes. They need the sink in order to make the cutouts. So you have to have the sink when they do the template to make this. We had them template our cabinet off in the shop somewhere because we wanted to keep the process moving, and it really worked out well. They templated it right out of the box and were able to make it while we were still in rough framing conditions here. The only reason why we could do that is because it's a three-sided cabinet. If it were in a nook or something, you would need to template the wall, so that wouldn't be an issue. But they basically, they brought this on site, they take it out of the truck, and they mount the sinks right underneath the cutouts. We ended up using an American Standard rectangular undercover studio or studio undercover sink from the Berwick collection, and we're going to also be installing the American Standard Portsmouth faucets, which are these cross handle, really nice widespread cross handle faucet. So they had to do 3 holes for that, and they had to mount the sink from the underneath. And they do that with silicone and clamps. And the clamps are secured in cutouts underneath the silestone, set in epoxy. It's a really cool system. And then if you notice, the sink was just a wee bit too big, and it kind of crowded the holes of the faucet, and it really would have made it difficult for the plumbers. So the contractor basically took a grinder and cut a little bit of lip off the sink to make some room. And then obviously they just drop it in place. It's held in place with silicone, and the backsplash is put on. A couple of tips I want to share with you is when you do the backsplash, make sure that the contractor does not silicone the top or the sides of the backsplash, because silicone will not take paint. You want to use a latex or an acrylic paint, caulking that can take paint from the wall. So that's one tip I want to advise you. I've learned this the hard way. Don't make the same mistake. Don't use silicone on the seam. Another tip is we use blue tape on all the cabinet doors. We tape the back of the door and we fold the tape on itself, and we use them as temporary handles. And the reason why we do that is we don't want contractors opening and closing the doors with their grubby hands or using a putty knife to try to get the door or the drawers open. So we install this tape. The other thing is, during the construction process, I might even remove the doors and drawers from the room entirely. So that's something to think about. The other thing is I usually put blue tape on all the corners of the cabinet so that vacuum hoses and other items being moved in and out of the bathroom don't scratch the corners. So just taking a few steps like that will actually protect your investment. So on the next video, we're going to be talking about installing the BASCO shower enclosure. It's a custom glass enclosure. It's made custom for this job. It's a really, really sweet process. It's a sweet product, and you got to see it. We'll see you at the next video. Take care.